Have you ever struggled with purpose in your work or finding meaning in your job? We have a Christian idea called vocation, that there's something that God calls us to in our work, and we find a mix of our passions and our skills and abilities, and as stewards of that, we put that into practice in the world around us and in the way that we live our lives. Sometimes we can get really caught up in having a job that fits right into that vocation, and that can be difficult when it's hard to find work in a particular field or when it doesn't pay the bills the way we need it to. As we wrestle in different ways with the meaning that we have in our daily living and in our work, I wanted to share with you some words from Barbara Brown Taylor's An Altar in the World, in which she talks about when she was trying to discern her own vocation. One night when my whole heart was open to hearing from God what I was supposed to do with my life, God said, "Do anything that pleases you." "What?" I responded. "What kind of answer is that?" "Do anything that pleases you," the voice said in my head again, "and belong to me." At one level, that answer was no help at all. The ball was back in my court again, where God had left me all kinds of room to lob it wherever I wanted. I could be a priest or a circus worker. God really did not care. At another level, I was so relieved that I sledded down the stairs that night. Whatever I decided to do for a living, it was not what I did, but how I did it that mattered. God had suggested an overall purpose, but was not going to supply me with the particulars. If I had wanted a life of meaning, then I was going to have to apply the purpose for myself. Later, I would find the work of Martin Luther helpful in this regard, a monk who became convinced that no livelihood was dearer to the heart of God than any other. He left the monastery to proclaim the priesthood of all believers. Whatever our jobs in the world happen to be, Luther said, our mutual vocation is to love God and neighbor. None of the things with which you deal with daily are too trifling to tell you this incessantly, he wrote, if you are but willing to hear it, and there is no lack of such preaching, for you have as many preachers as there are transactions, commodities, tools, and other implements in your house and estate. And they shout this to your face, "My dear, use me toward your neighbor, as you would want them to act toward you with that which is theirs." With Luther's encouragement, I went on to use martini glasses on serving trays, saddles on spotted ponies, communion bread and wine, newspaper stories, bouquets of flowers delivered to nursing homes, suppers cooked for friends, checks from my checkbook, and green ink on student essays as purposeful means of engaging my vocation. Every one of these tools gave me an ample opportunity to choose kindness over meanness. Every one of them offered me a chance to recognize the divine in human form, inviting me out of myself long enough to engage someone whose fears, wants, loves, and needs were at least as important as my own. Of course, they also gave me ample opportunity to do the opposite, missing my purpose by a mile. But yet even this turned out to be helpful, since recognizing those moments is how I remember that is not who I want to be.